Is your horse truly on the bit, or has it just surrendered? Is your horse cooperating, or is it simply no longer resisting? Today, we want to talk about putting the horse on the bit, but not an academic explanation because there are plenty of those online. Let's get into three vital questions for the professional rider. When a professional rider encounters a problem, they must have the ability to answer these three questions in order to find solutions and choose the best one among them. The first question is, did your horse correctly understand your intention? Meaning, did the rider convey their intention to the horse correctly? Did they use the right aids? Or are their hands and legs each conveying different things to the horse? You know that when you are using your hands and legs, a message is sent to the horse's mind through the hands and legs. If these messages are not consistent, the horse won't understand the rider's intent, and as a result, the exercise or movement the rider expects won't be performed. The second question is, does your horse have the ability to perform that movement? What does that mean? It means, does it have the muscles ready to perform or repeat that movement? The third question is, maybe the horse simply doesn't want to do that movement. Well, what does that mean? Sometimes your horse might, for whatever reason, have a cluttered mind or even a bad memory of that movement, exercise, or even that position, making it not want to do it. Most of the time, horses don't understand the rider's intention, but unfortunately, this leads to the rider assuming the horse doesn't want to do it. So they turn to training aids, punishing the horse and making things harder and harder. Believe me, this isn't the way. This way, you destroy the horse's willingness to learn and cooperate, and you end up turning the horse into a complete and utter loser, someone who just can't win anymore. So, it comes down to three questions. One, did the horse correctly understand what I meant? Two, is my horse capable of performing that movement? Is it even ready to carry it out? Three, or does it simply not want to do it? First, you must have the power of discernment, and then you can find suitable solutions tailored to your horse's personality and body type. And finally, you decide which one is best, and you can incorporate it into your horse's training system. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. We'll try to answer all comments with references and be able to help riders even more. The point we need to discuss together right now is this. How do we know if our horse is correctly on the bit while we're riding? And is it in the correct position we want or not? We need to talk about two specific things. One, the riders feel when they are on a horse that is in the on the bit position. Two, what a coach can see from the ground regarding the behavior and posture of a horse to determine if this horse is correctly on the bit or not. We want to examine this being on the bit from the perspective of a rider and a coach on the ground together. In a way, an on the bit horse entrusts itself to the rider. A sense of trust between rider and horse is much more visible in the on the bit state. Sometimes you've seen some horses when another horse approaches from the front, get scared and suddenly turn around and change their path. One of the reasons is exactly this, that when the horse's head was tucked and it trusted the rider, it encountered an object or another horse, and a bad experience has caused it to no longer trust. And when a horse is in front of it and comes close, it wants to change direction and flee. And in a way, it's as if it's saying, let me decide for myself. and I don't trust you anymore to be in this situation. Next, when the horse is on the bit, contact with its mouth is no longer resistant, but rather the horse itself maintains the contact. And also the horse keeps its head slightly ahead of the vertical line. Well, let's go to the second part. From the perspective of the coach who is down, standing on the ground and watching a rider whose horse is on the bit. Well, we want to talk about what things, if a coach sees this, it's a sign of approval. First, you'll see more engagement in the horse's back muscles. There's a clear tendency to bring the hind legs under the horse's body. We've heard this phrase a lot, but I want to show you how to spot it. Today, for the first time online, I'm going to teach you how. One way you can tell the level of engagement in the hind legs, thumb up, is by watching how the hind legs move. During movement, they step that into the front hoof prints or even further ahead. That's even better news. Take a close look at this image. The upper hoof print is from the horse's hind leg, meaning when the horse is on the bit, it tries to place its hoof on the front print or even beyond it. This means the back muscles are engaged and the horse wants to pull its legs further under its body, creating a more powerful engine while performing the movement. Look at the second image. The horse places its hoof at a distance from the front print. This indicates that the back and hindquarters are not engaged in this movement. You can see these hoof prints more clearly with race horses, where the gaps might be even larger than in this photo. The next thing you can spot from the ground is the horse's forehead being vertical to the ground or even slightly ahead of the vertical line. These signs complement each other. It's not just about having a certain head and face position. If the back muscles aren't engaged, the movement is smoother and more uniform. The horse's tail and ears are calmer and move with more stability. And I want to teach you another important visual sign today. When someone looks at the horse from the ground, they can draw a balance arc from the horse's head to its croup. It's as if the horse's body is stretched like a solid, unified bridge. The rider sits on a stable and strong bridge. There are many details hidden in this photo that in future videos I will talk about in much more detail. Note that when the horse is on the bit, it should start bending and arching from the vertebrae closest to its head. And the name of this bone is the atlas. The more the neck bends near the head, the better it is. I know you knew that poor physical form is bad for the horse, but now with this info, you can train your eyes and look at horses in a different way. Now, by looking at the horse's posture and how it moves, you can tell if the horse is in a muscle building state or not. Can you correctly identify the facial expressions and unhappy ears of a horse? Please seek help from your trainers regarding this matter and use their experience concerning these signs that you might see and have from the horse. Write to us in the comments, what could the rider's feeling be on a horse that is not on the bit? Please comment your opinions for us. Correct training equals natural performance, healthy muscle building, and a longer working life. Let's practice our eyes a bit together. One of the tools we have is called side reins. Increased activity of the muscles under the neck and a drop in the quality of top line muscle building can be easily observed after a while with bad saddles.